My father said, if you go to America someday, just go to Indiana. My father told me that. Go to Indiana.
That's Socorro Vallejo, the owner of El Norteño Mexican restaurant and grocery on the downtown Bloomington Courthouse Square in the old Princess Theater building.
My father told me about Indiana, and I started reading about more Indiana, and then I met a friend in Mexico from Indiana. And that's how we end up in Bloomington.
Vallejo was born in Monterrey, Mexico, which is a large city just south of the Texas border, to parents from Zacatecas and San Luis Potosi. As far as she knows, though, her father had never been to Indiana before offering his sage advice. And unusually, her desire to come to America didn't really involve the stereotypical immigrant story of hope and opportunity. It was a little more basic than that.
My idea was to come to the United States to speak English. That was my goal. Since I was a little girl, I always dreamed to speak English. That was my dream.
Vallejo came to Bloomington and after a couple years opened up a small Mexican grocery on South Walnut with her sister and mother, where they also started selling basic Mexican food. Then, about 7 years ago, they decided to branch out and opened El Norteño Mexican restaurant in the old Princess Theater. But instead of serving up movies and theatrical productions like the theater used to, it's now serving up authentic Mexican favorites for lunch and dinner. Omar Palacios, a waiter at the restaurant and Mexico City native, says despite being in Indiana, the food's not far off from home.
The food is really, it's almost the same like Mexico. It have a lot of stuff different and other restaurants don't have any. Like sopes, gorditas, tacos, and this kind of, it's almost like Mexico. It's not really the same, but Mexico is a little bit better, you know? But here it's almost the same.
And not only does Palacios find the food to be on par with home, locals find the food great in its own right, and the service to be pretty spot on as well.
We like the place. We just keep coming back, and we never get tired of it. In fact, you take a look at this hospitality right here, see, because they set this table up specifically for us because it's, you know, this used to be a theater, so they're kind of a split-level restaurant.
And somebody here can't walk over the stairs.
Fortunately, Vallejo let me in on a little bit of her secret to keeping her food tasty and authentic.
My mother got all these recipes from my grandma, her mother. She was a great cook. You know, she had 14 kids. She got to cook at home.
As for the building, the Princess Theater was built in the 1870s along with the Harris Grand Theater, but its current appearance dates back to the 1920s when John Nichols redesigned the facade and interior to compete with the newly built Indiana Theater, now called the Buskirk-Chumley. It hosted plays and movies along with catastrophic fires and structural collapses, but it keeps on ticking, and it keeps getting more colorful. However, it's not just the food from the kitchen they serve here, it's the entire Latin American population of Monroe and surrounding counties they try to serve by bringing a few bits of home into their connected store.
We actually do a lot of services here for our community, for Mexican community, or other countries too from Latin America.
They sell phone cards, tortillas, Mexican sweets like chili lollipops, tamarind candies, and lime salt, as well as Goya products for their Puerto Rican friends and masa arepas for their Venezuelan friends. However, the entire time I've been talking to her, she's been looking at me as if she knows me.
I think I remember you. Yeah, now I remember it. Mole, pollo con mole. Yeah.
Darn, busted. Well, for Cultural Lens in downtown Bloomington, I'm Justin Metzger.